Do you know what time it is? It's time to start thinking about a writing challenge for November. And with NaNoWriMo no longer available, you might want to be looking for something new. And that's what I have for you today. Hi, this is Angela. Welcome to my studio. And today we're talking about the Rough Draft Challenge. And this is a program that was put together by Sarra Cannon over at her HeartBreathings channels for writers a couple of years ago. And it's really turning out great. Now, if you remember from Nano, you were challenged to write 50,000 words in 30 days. But there were always those rebels who were going to write poems or were going to dive into an existing project. They weren't wanting to write something new. And I get that. If you've got a project going, you don't want to start another one and have another one sitting in the files until next year when you start all over again. Sarra has just switched that up, and let me show you the difference. In the Rough Draft Challenge, Sarra measures everything by milestones. So you can start with, maybe you just want to write 10,000 words to finish a project and be on the Emerald tier. 25,000 words? Sure, to go towards another project for the Sapphire tier. Ruby, the 50,000 words we're used to. Citrine, 75,000 words. Amethyst, 100,000 words. And I got to tell you, I have known people in the other community that did do 100,000 words. Silly people. In my opinion, because, you know, sometimes it's hard just to do the 25,000 words. Or you jump off really hard on the first 3 days and then you lose interest in the project and you fall off and whatever. And then the Diamond Challenge is to create your own challenge. Maybe you aren't a writer, and that's fine, but you're still a creative and you still want to make things. So maybe you want to do, maybe you want to work on something for Christmas, a Christmas gift. Maybe you want to crochet, or you want to cross stitch, or you want to paint. The Diamond Challenge, the Diamond level is perfect for you. And I'm going to link Sarra's website for this. Her husband George has put together a very simple, very basic website for this challenge where you can go in and set up your page and pick your tier and then be ready to dive in on November 1st. Now, she does have some things to help you along the way. And you know, with the other challenge, there were different threads for what am I going to eat? What are my tools that I need? What inspires me, that kind of thing. And she's broken them down into different levels. So you want to prep your plan. You want to look at your available time for the upcoming month, and we're going to do that in a minute. You want to decide on your word count goal and what tier you're going to be. You want to plan to write each day, or at least every day that you can, based on the calendar that we're going to look through in just a minute. Your rewards. Rewards are so important. They're that carrot in front of you that keeps you moving forward. And we're going to talk about the different things that you can do for rewards. Now, I've had lots of people say, well, I don't know what to reward myself for, or I don't have any money. We've got things for that. And then your meals and snacks, because if you don't have to think about what's on the menu, then you're good to go. And I'm going to change this light up. How's that? Oh, I don't know if that's better or worse. We'll try this. Then you're going to prep your tools. The tools that you might need, such as highlighters and colored pens and washi tape or stickers or whiteout or index cards. Whatever you're going to use to write, to plot your novel out if you plot, or at least know who your characters are. Software and a computer. Make sure that everything is clean, everything is backed up. Because the last thing you want is to be in the middle of your story and you shut down for the day and the next morning you come back and there's nothing there. So always get in the habit of backing up your work every single day. Get rid of unclear files on your computer that you don't need on there and make room excuse me, for what you're doing. Health. Make sure that you are not neglecting your health. Health is so important when you're going into these marathons. I'm sorry, it is so early, but I have like 15 videos to do today before I leave for a writer's conference on Thursday. So I'm really powering through, and it's only a little after 5 a.m. Yeah, so back to that health thing. But I had 8 hours of sleep last night, and I'll get another 8 tonight. I'm okay. But make sure that you have supplements, or that you're prescriptions are filled. Anything that you need that's going to help keep you. Make sure you get some good sleep. Drink lots of water. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Coffee's great, but you really need to hydrate your system. And any extras that you need, any other tools that make your experience more enjoyable. Maybe you need a nice set of headphones, or a mouse for your laptop, a pad for your wrist, or a nice notebook that you can jot notes down as you go, so that you're not jumping out of your story, but you're thinking, okay, this is what I want to work on tomorrow, and make your notes. You also need friends. Now, writing is known as a solitary endeavor, but really it isn't. We really need people to talk to. We need people to bounce ideas off of, or people that are in the same struggle. So find your crew. Sarah has a Facebook group. She also has a Discord server. And if you're interested in forming another writing group, or you have friends, get together. Even if it's just, maybe meet up one day a week to sprint together. And we're going to talk about sprints in a minute. But find people, like-minded people. Also, not just writers. Find people who will support you in your challenge, that will encourage you to keep going, or to listen when you need to bounce ideas off. They might not be writers. My husband is not a writer, but he's the tops of my crew, because if I'm stuck on something, he will listen and say, what if? He always asks that, well, what if? And that's the question every writer loves to hear. You're also going to need to prep your novel. Decide on your project, or whatever creative project you're going to work on. Decide what the project to work on. If you're writing a book, you're going to need your character sheets. Make a list of your main characters. Know as much about them as you can. If you're into the color coding thing, color code your characters. For me, I use the index card system, so pink is my heroine, blue is my hero, and then I have green for my scene cards. If that's not you, that's fine. Go through the list and decide what it is that works for you. And maybe this is a good time for you to try something new. Outlining. If you're a pantser or a plotter, have an outline, whatever it is that you use, this is the time to work on it. I have my index cards, scenes. If you have to do any research, maybe you need to research magic elements if you're writing a fantasy, or a setting, or you're creating a setting, and my small town is like this. So what does this small town have? World building. Again, know where your story is set. Because if you want to have them out taking a walk on a tree-lined park maybe, or a walkway of some type, of green space, you need to know what those things are in your world. And cover art. Now, you don't have to have a cover for your book, but if you want one to just kind of hype you up and keep you motivated, you can create a simple book cover in Canva, and Sarah shows you how to do that. I'll try to find that video and link it below. Also, you're going to prep your space. Where are you planning to write? Do you have a cozy nook? Do you write in bed, propped up with pillows? Do you have a work desk? For things at home like that, have a space that when you go into it, your brain automatically says, it's time to write. Not flip through your phone, or scroll Instagram, or scroll Facebook, but it's time to write. Now, the ergonomics are important. You're going to be putting in a lot of hours on this. So make sure that you have a comfortable yet ergonomic space to work. You don't want to be slouched over a desk that's too low, or lounging against those pillows in bed for too long at a time. Make sure your space is fitting to your back, to your neck, to your wrists. Inspiration. Create a space that inspires you. Find a spot where you can sit, and when you sit there, you're like, I can breathe. I don't have to worry about anything else in the house. I can just focus on my story. And set a vibe, whether you use oil blends, or a candle, or your favorite crystals, or just background music, a playlist for your story, which could also be one of your tools. Then you're going to look at your to-do list, and you're going to list all the research things that you need to look at. What do I need to look up? What of these things do I still need to take care of? And then as you do them, check them off. Now, this book, this Rough Draft Challenge workbook, is available from Sarra Cannon all you have to do is subscribe to her email, and you have instant access to her vault of this and so many other printables that she has created over the years to help writers. And I will link her video for this down below, and you'll find all of her links in the description box of her video. Shopping list. If there's any of those things that you were planning and say you need a new flash drive or you want new headphones, something like that, make your shopping list. Things that you either need to purchase or that you need to scavenger from around your house and bring into your writing space. And then decisions list. List the decisions that you need to make before the challenge begins. Who's going to take care of household duties when I'm writing? How am I going to block out my time? Who's going to walk the dog? Those kind of things that would normally be on your shoulders. This is the month to find out who your crew really is within your personal space and who you can delegate to. Now, the calendar is tricky. Well, it's not tricky, but it makes you take a hard look at things. So you're going to look at the calendar and decide, okay, what days do I know for sure that I cannot write? Now, I've marked all of mine in purple. I know that I don't want to write on Sundays. Those are my day to spend with Bob. He helps me so much throughout the week and the month that I want to make sure that I'm holding out time for him. I also know, and I thought of this one last night, my favorite witchy store is having a grand opening. Her original store was hit by a tornado a year ago last May. And she's got a grand opening of a brand new shop. And so I know I'm going to be going to Mel's open house this day. So there won't be any writing that day. So that's one of my days that I know I cannot write. Saturdays are usually Bob days. Now, the only problem with this one is the first Saturday of every month is Double Down Day. And that's where you take your average word count of the previous week and you plan to double it on this day. I'm not going to be writing for Double Down Day this week or this month, but that is my goal to participate in next year, to participate for every Double Down Day that I possibly can. Saturdays, 1 or 2 times a month, Bob and I take a thrift day. Now, we can't do those on a Sunday, so whatever day we do that, I may take part of a Sunday and still write, but it moves around. So I can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Nope, not writing those two. Let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 days for sure that I can write. Now this one, I'm going to treat this like a Double Down Day because this is Veterans Day. And I have, my current book is, in the theme, we're bringing home the remains of a Korean War veteran, and my hero is a sergeant in the Army. So I'm going to dedicate Veterans Day to being my Double Down Day for this month and see how much word count I can bank. So we have that. Then once you know how many days you can write, then she has a sprint calculator in here. And there's several things you need to consider. If you do sprints, which is usually a 25, Pomodoro sprints are 25-minute writing sprints with a 5-minute break. So figure out how many words you can do in a sprint. On an average, I can do 250 words when I get rolling. So my daily word count was supposed to be 1,000. I think it's bumped up a little bit now when I did this. Divide it by the 250 words per sprint. I need 4 sprints per day or 2 hours a day to write. It's doable for me. Use this, think about this, and decide what is doable for you. Or can you stretch yourself just a little bit? My total word count goal was 50,000. Well, it's not. It's actually 25. But say your word count was 25,000. You divide it by the 23 days that you could work, and your daily word count would be 2,174 words. Mine is not that. I'm going to flip through here. Mine is 25,000, and I've got 23 total writing days. I know that has changed, but I'm going to stick with it for this purpose. So I need 1,086 words per day. That's not a lot once I get rolling. 1,000 words divided by 250 is 4 writing sprints. So I can pick this up on Double Down Day. And then my number of sprints per day is going to be 4. 25, so I need 2 hours of writing time. My total challenge is 25,000 words. My average word count for sprints is 250. I need 100 sprints to win the challenge. And she has a couple of different ways that you can do that. This one's a word tracker, where you would write down how many words I wrote this sprint and today's total and the monthly total. I can eliminate these two and say I do my 4 sprints. Let me get my pen out here, and I'm trying to do this without my glasses this morning. So I would do this here every 4 sprints. So this sprint, this sprint, this sprint, this sprint, today's total, and then my monthly total so far. This column will grow until I get over. I've got 125 sprints over here, even though I really only need 100 because I punched it backwards. So I'll have to keep remembering this. And I may go back and just reprint this page and punch it correctly and add it in here. So for an Ozarks homecoming, I need a target word count of 1,000 to 1,083 words per day. Now, I'm going to talk about rewards here for a minute. You can set rewards over 5 different periods. So I did 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, and 20,000. So for 1,000, I might hit the SAC Saturday sale, which is Spectrum Art Creations online crafting retail that I go to periodically, or their game night because I'm a member of their community. 5,000 words, I'll do a $35 max Simon Says order. And because there's still some things that I need to flush out my Tim Holtz craft supplies. 10,000 words, something from my Amazon list, or a new t-shirt from Etsy, and I'm going to link the Etsy store down below that I order my writer t-shirts from. She's really good. And the sizes are pretty much spot on. 15,000, I'm going to make sure I take an extra day with Bob to do thrifting or something. And 20,000 is an all-I-can-eat crab legs. So, which should give me pretty much the ending of this book, and that was my reward for finishing the book. Now, when we're talking about meals, you don't have to do either of these two. Oh, while I'm still on rewards, I also have this little cauldron, and my husband put a lid on it, and I created a crystal ball from a marble on here. And inside, I have daily rewards and weekly rewards. So if I hit my daily word count, I pull a blue one, and I get an hour of crafting. I hit my weekly reward, my weekly goal, and I'll do a spa mani-pedi. Simple things. You can choose to not spend, or spend minimally, or set a budget of what you could spend in the month of November for hitting your goals. Now this went back on here a whole lot easier the first time. It does fit. It does. So you can do maybe a new set of pens or markers, or a set of washi tape from the washi tape shop, or from Wrong Wrong. Maybe just a day to browse your favorite craft store and hope you don't come home with stuff you really don't need. But you're out enjoying and having fun. It's an artist date. Think about things that you'd like to have that you would not normally spend the money on. And if it's things that you don't have the money to do things like giving yourself a mani-pedi, or pair up with your writing partner and do each other's fingers and toes. There are things you can do. Now, when we get to meals, there's space to write breakfast and lunch and dinner ideas. Now, I do oatmeal. I like ham, egg, and cheese sandwiches. I like pancakes and sausage. I like cheesy eggs with scrambled eggs with smoked sausage. I like ham and eggs or omelets. And biscuits and gravy is usually a Sunday staple. Or a quiche. And I can mix those up just so that I know, okay, what do I have a taste for this morning that's on my list? Lunch ideas, protein platter. My protein platter consists of turkey and ham lunch meat, cheese sticks, a hard-boiled egg, and a dish of cottage cheese. Chicken salad or tuna salad, sardines and crackers with cheese sticks, or fish sandwich and tots, grilled cheese and tomato soup. Things that are simple, excuse me, and don't take a lot of time to do. Snack ideas, yogurt, cheese sticks, nuts, things that are high in protein will be much better for you than a laden bowl of heavy ice cream. Dinner ideas, lasagna. Do it up ahead of time, throw it in the freezer. So when you're ready to do lasagna one night, you can, in the morning when you get up, take it out of the freezer, let it start to thaw. encore dinners, which are usually like riblets in barbecue sauce, or Salisbury steaks and gravy, or a lasagna, though I prefer Stouffer's if I'm going to buy store. Meals in a jar, and I'm going to link a gal that does meals in a jar. It's called Jara from Wicked Prepared. Great meals in a jar options. Tacos or nachos or burritos, pork loin and scallop taters. That's something that on one of my breaks I can go in and I can throw that in the oven and get it started. Fried chicken and sides, again, usually a Sunday thing. But you cook the thighs on one side for 10 minutes with the lid on, 10 minutes with the lid off. I can do a lot of writing in those 10-minute sprints, especially if I'm already in the story. So I can write while I'm prepping supper. And catfish and tots, that's Bob's night. Then you're going to have pages about your book, your main point of view, what's the story you want to tell, who are the side characters in the story, what's the central conflict of the story. Are there any specific settings that you need where you know your story will take place, such as the main character's house, a castle, a spaceship, a classroom? Make notes of colors and furniture. How does your story open? Can you already imagine an opening scene? Describe it in as much detail as you can. These are things that you can use once you start writing November 1st, so start getting your notes down now and you won't be working with a blank page come November 1st. And then you have a page for your rough draft challenge project, work title, basic premise, main characters, side characters, a villain if there is one, the main conflict, and the resolution. You also have a list for your creative toolbox. Take a few minutes to think about the things that will make you feel good. These are actual items that you can easily add to your daily or weekly routine to boost your joy while you're writing, such as a clean desk, a candle. I have one from Dollar Tree that's called Clarity. A writing candle that might be different from that one. I have an LED candle that I've decorated with rub-ons such as the New York Times bestseller type thing and stacks of books, and I can use that and take that with me anywhere when I write that I might not be able to have an actual candle. Fresh glass of water, always be drinking your water. A treat cauldron, I have one of those that is filled with M&Ms. And then a flash drive, either a backup or an external, and your Gmail or email. And a witchy nightshirt, I have a collection of that I've collected over the years from Walmart, that when I put on that witchy t-shirt and my leggings, I know it's time to write. And then work on your rewards. The big things, the little things. For fun, you might put 30 small rewards on small scraps of paper, fold them and throw them in a mason jar. When you hit your daily word count, grab one. And that's what my cauldron is for. Then you're going to have your daily pages where you put down, and I'm going to use this one over here, where you put down your beginning word count for the day, which I'm starting with 0, and the words I need left to write, which would be 1,000. And I don't have my purple pen here, but my words left to write would be my 25,000. And every day that you write, this number should grow and this one should shrink. My intention for the day is to meet my daily goal of 1,000. That's it. That's my intention for the day, to make my daily goal. Scenes that you want to write, and if you want to track your word count here, my mood for today is what I'm loving about this story, and then my daily thoughts, my wrap-up thoughts for the day, my total words for the day, and the new monthly total. Now I'm going to flip through here just a little bit, because that's Saturday, this is Sunday, and then you have a weekly wrap-up. How did I feel about this past week? What things went well? You can put your daily word counts in here and your total word counts for the week. What's working so far? What's not working? What do I need to shift? The story problems I'm thinking through and my intentions for next week. And then, I lost one of my trackers. Where did they go? Aha. She also has this type of a tracker. There are multiple trackers in here. Pick the one that's going to work for you. Don't try to do them all. But on day 1, no words, total words. And I would do either this, or I would write, okay, my total words are, this is what I did. And you can do that all the way through. So if you're a game board kind of person, this might be a tracking system for you. Okay, so links in the description box below to find Sarra Cannon's video about prepping for Preptober, where you can also sign up for her newsletter and get this workbook to work your way through. or just watch her video and make notes of what you want to do. And if you're going to join the Rough Draft Challenge, leave me a note down in the comments below and let me know what you're going to be working on. I'd love to have you join us. That's it for me in the studio today. I hope you'll join us for the Rough Draft Challenge. Please remember to like, to share, and subscribe. And as always, all my best.